Hey, welcome back. It's day 7. So you've gotten through 6 days of regular yoga practice. I want to congratulate you. That's awesome. I'm so stoked that you're staying with it. Hey, I just want to let you know right now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, that is the best way to support Yoga with Tim. So I would really appreciate it if you go right now and click that subscribe button to help to support the channel. If you're enjoying the challenge, if you're new to the channel, you know what I'm talking about, just get into things and then see if you want to subscribe. But yeah, I would really appreciate that. So I'm here with Jacob again. Jacob's back. And today we're going to do restoratives. So in my opinion, taking time a day each week to mellow out and kind of like just take time off is just as important as the physical work that we're doing in the practice. So not only will it start to replenish your body, but will also start to repair you so that you can come back to the practice with some like energy the next day. Like your mind will be kind of replenished, you'll feel re-energized. So that's what we're gonna do today. So to start off, we're gonna do a little warm up for the joints, like just mellow on your back so that we get kind of blood pumping so that the muscles will be willing to go into these deeper stretches, and we'll do a little bit of meditation. So start off on your back. Lie down onto your back and put the feet down onto the mat, knees bent, feet down, like you're gonna go up into bridge pose. And just hang out there. Okay, so for today's video, I'll be using a strap, and then in the supported breathing practice, we're gonna be using a bolster. If you don't have a bolster at home, you could do it over a pillow with a towel under your head. So in this part, I just want you to feel everything relax onto the mat. Let the pelvis drop. Let the soles of the feet start to open. Feel your feet on the mat. And then we'll do like cat-cow here on your back. So as you inhale, arch the lower back and tip the tailbone down into the floor, like so I could slide my hand underneath your back. And then as you exhale, flatten your lower back down into the mat. Start to move with the rhythm of your breath now. Inhale to arch, and exhale to flatten. Feel the back of the spine open. One more time, move with your breath, nice and fluid. Good, then come into neutral with your spine. It's not flattened, it's not arched. And then bring your right leg up into tabletop position, maintaining that neutral spine. Slowly lower that leg and change legs, bring the left leg up. Slowly lower and change legs. Slowly lower and change legs. Good. Now bring your hands to that left knee and gently start to bring your knee towards your chest. But see if you can maintain your neutral spine as you do that so the lower back isn't flat and it stays long. We practiced this yesterday, so it should be like a little bit of review. Then slowly start to stretch your right leg out along the floor. Push through the heel. Let the thigh descend all the way. Take your left arm up to the ceiling. Start to reach your left arm back towards the wall behind you. But there's a dual action. As the arm is going back, let the arm bone plug into the socket, and then let the muscles lengthen through the reach of your fingers. All right, now lift your right heel up an inch, and then change sides. Kind of tricky. Left hand to right knee, right arm reaches back. Let the left heel drop down. Take a couple breaths like that. Feel that arm bone plug in on the right side. Feel the neck get space across the back of the neck. The spine lengthen through the reach of your heel on your arm. Now lift that heel up just a little, but feel if the spine wanted to lift or flatten, don't let it. Keep it long and neutral. Okay, now no more heels on the ground. Change sides as you exhale. Change sides as you exhale. Change sides. Change sides. Change sides. And just keep going now at your own rhythm with your breath. I'm just going to time you for 30 seconds. While you're changing sides, you'll notice that your spine might want to twist, your pelvis might want to twist. Try not to let that happen. Think like you're getting pulled, like you're in some type of like medieval traction device. Your tailbone's getting pulled one way, crown of your head getting pulled the other way. You could think William Wallace Braveheart style, getting pulled. Find more freedom in your spine. That's very corny, I realize, but okay. He yells freedom at the end in case you haven't seen the movie. All right, there's 30 seconds. Release. And just relax now. Feel what the effects of that little warm-up has done for your body. Notice the shift. And then we're going to do the Supta Padangusthasana, the lying down, hand to big toe poses. Except we're going to use a strap, make it a little mellower, unless you're very flexible when you want to take your big toe. So the strap goes here, kind of like at the base of your heel. And then take it in both hands. Okay, now the goal of this is not to have your legs straight. The goal of it is to get the length of the spine and to let your right hip release out of your back. So imagine that I took my hands here across the crease of your hip and I started to pull your hip down for you. Feel that same space, just like yesterday. And then gradually, the back of this leg will start to open. Did it turn off? No, it's still going. Okay, we're still going. Good. So let the back of the leg start to open. As you feel the back of the leg open, breathe. Then rebend your knee just a little. Let that hip crease drop down. Feel like the thigh bone drops deeper into the socket. And then slowly start to straighten your leg again. Breathe. Okay, good. Now take both sides of the strap into your right hand. So I'm using a little prop for this next stretch. This is to take the pressure off so your core doesn't have to work as much and you can just kind of relax into it. This little prop, this block, or a little pillow at home you could use too, is going to stabilize the hip. So slowly take your leg over to the right, and you'll feel that your hip buttock touches that little prop there. Now you can let the front of the pelvis open. You can let all those muscles relax and just spread. You can take the left arm out to the side, wherever feels comfortable, straight out to the side, down at an angle. But this will create a nice stretch if you take it out in line with your shoulder. So feel the space from your right hip to your left shoulder, just breathe. And we're going to kind of do all these stretches in twos today. Then bring the leg back up to center, pause, and then slowly open it out to the side one more time. Nice and slow. And let the breath teach the pelvis to open. Where it feels like it's tight, instead of holding that tension, let yourself relax into the prop and just breathe. Then bring your leg back up. Take the strap over into your left hand. Take your right thumb right here into the crease of your hip. As the crease releases away from your chest, start to bring the leg over to the left and then bring it closer towards your shoulder, if it will allow. Now start to breathe the leg towards straight. Now that we've had a little bit of time, see if you can go any straighter. Open up through the big toe mound. Open up to the outer knee. If you're feeling any pressure in your back to try to straighten the leg, like pain in your lower back, just work with the knee bent. Bring the leg back up to center, pause, and one more time, over in line with the shoulder, and then a little closer to the shoulder for allow. Just notice on that second round, if you feel like your body is more willing to go into the movement. So your body's more familiar with what's happening. There's a little bit more space after you've held it in a stretch. Come back to center. Release your leg. All right. Change legs. Take your left leg up. Heel on the strap. You get some fancy footwork there. That's good. All right. So take it just right here at the, kind of like the front of your heel bone. Okay. Yeah. And feel free to have that knee bent. Again, imagine like I had my hands right here at the crease of your hip and I'm pulling your hip crease down for you. Breathe, space out of your back. And then see if you can breathe that leg a little longer now, if it's willing to. And rebend your knee. Bend it a little deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper, and let that thigh bone drop even deeper into the socket. Energize your right leg, that's your base leg. Reach to the heel, roll the inner thigh down, and then slowly start to breathe this left leg towards straight again. Feel that the thigh bone drops down into the socket so that the leg gets longer. The foot is reaching up, the thigh bone is dropping down. It's making the leg longer. All right, now I have this little prop set up on the outside of the hip again. Go ahead, take the strap in both sides strap in your left hand and start to open your leg to the left with that little prop so that you don't have to work your abs. You can just let the prop do the work for you. Open up your arm out to the side. Feel the front of the pelvis start to open. Feel the chest spread, the neck lengthen. And these are really great stretches to start to create even more space and opening. So if you're really tight in your hips and your hamstrings, the standing poses are good because they promote strength and flexibility. Bring your leg back up. I don't want to get ahead of myself and miss the second round. And then open your leg to the side one more time. And hold. So the standing poses promote strength and flexibility. But when you take gravity out of the equation, your body can just really open up into it. So the seated poses and reclined poses like this really help the body to be able to open without having to work as much. So this is a really common series of poses that I recommend to people who tell me that their hamstrings are so tight that they can't straighten their legs or fold forward. These are great poses to help with that. Bring your leg back up. Take both sides of the strap into your right hand now. Bring it over in line with your right shoulder and your left thumb into the hip crease. As you release that hip crease away from you, see if the foot can come a little bit closer towards your armpit without the hip crease coming up. Open through the big toe mound, open up through the outer knee. Breathe. Bring your leg back to center again. Pause. One more time. Take it over to the right. Line it with the shoulder. Good, then come back to center. All right. Then release that. And we're gonna try Supine Gomukhasana. So cross your knees and then grab a hold of your feet. Knees towards the chest. And see if you can grab a hold of the feet. Pretty good. And so yeah, take the hands kind of like you're holding handlebars on a bicycle, just like Jacob's doing. Let the lower back lengthen again. And if this is coming well, you should feel like right here in your outer butt on the top knee, whatever the top knee is. You'll feel a really nice stretch there. Just breathe into that sensation. Then change the cross. And allow your breath to help to let the body release the tension that doesn't need to hold in the hip there. Of course, strong hips are functional. We want to have strength in our hips, but a muscle's health is its ability to contract all the way and to release all the way. So we want that hip to be able to fully engage. For it to fully engage, it should be able to release all the way in a stretch as well. All right. Then uncross your legs and roll over to your side. So I have this rad little bolster here that I got from my teacher who picked it up in India when she was studying with the BKS Iyengar family. But you could use a pillow. Like before I had this bolster, I would just kind of set up pillows, whatever. But Jacob's gonna lie down here with his back on this bolster, and he's gonna have it so that the base of the bolster supports right at the base of the rib cage. Yeah, just about right there. Okay. Now here's just a word of caution. I'm also gonna give him a little pillow for his head so that his neck is able to release. So it's not like strain like this. So make sure whatever you put under, however your head is, you don't want the front of your neck to be strained. So you can support your head a little bit so you can feel the back of your neck release. Now, if you're experiencing any tension in your back, like it might be a little much, that arch for your back could make your back ache. If you have any problems with your sacrum lower back, then you could just lie flat for this. Then take your legs into Baddha Konasana position, soles of the feet together and knees apart. So we're on this real sticky mat. Depending on what kind of setup you have at home, if you're like on the carpet or whatever, you could take your feet against the wall so that they don't slide away from you. But if your feet are staying there pretty well, then you're good. Just hang out there. Let the palms turn out. So I mentioned earlier in the challenge, I don't remember which day, but one of the days, I mentioned that when we start to deepen our asana practice, over time it becomes more comfortable to sit upright, that there's not as much effort. But like when you first start yoga, you're like sitting like this, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't sit up straight at all. And it's so much effort to practice a meditative seat. So this is a great way to start to teach your body to relax while you practice breathing meditation. And that's what we're going to do today. So this is how I usually start off beginners, lying down with breath awareness. So that's what we're going to practice today. As you just relax here on your mat, with your eyes closed, feel the places in your body where it feels tight. Feel the places in your body where it feels open. So you're just like scanning up and down. And then bring your attention to your breath, and especially the sensation of your breath, what it feels like for the breath to move in and out. And we'll start to become more and more connected to that the more we pay attention. Then let the breath start to slow down. Now we'll start to let the breath slow to help to cool and quiet the nerves even more. So just notice as you watch your breath, it can start to slow down and lengthen. Watch the length of the inhalation. Watch the length of the exhalation. And instead of trying to stop yourself from thinking, just let the thoughts come and go. If you notice your attention drifting, just come back to your breath when you catch. And for the last bit, just let the mind do whatever it wants. And then roll over to your right side. And gently press yourself up to seated. Join your palms together. Sit up tall with your chest open. Thank you. Namaste. All right, thank you. So make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment below, let me know what you thought of the restorative practice. And also, just make sure that you're signed up for the challenge. Go to my website right now if you haven't already and enter in your email so you can get the daily emails for the rest of the challenge. I'll include more information about what we're doing, some insights into it. All right, thank you so much. See you tomorrow.